Okay, so this is more of my memories from working at Woolworths as a child and a sexual harassment incident that took place for me. And so this is talking about two young men who were from my high school who were also working at the store after work. We were all part-time. So I'm using their first names only. Okay, so Glenn never waited on tables, so I know I've referred to him as Guy A in the first version and Mike is Guy B in the second version. So Glenn never waited on tables, so I don't know what he was hired to do. I guess he thought just sweeping and mopping was his job. Mike never wanted to be done. Mike just wanted to be done working and go home. I often thought, why could they not mop the floor before I went in the bathroom? The break room was for employees, and the store was still open at night after the lunch counter closed at 6 p.m. every day, except for Saturdays it closed at 5 p.m. and Sunday it closed at 4 p.m. This was at a shopping mall. Mike told me the break room gets locked up at night and they use a different bathroom. It seemed odd to me because women were still working. I did notice a lot of women would take their personal handbags with them and keep them at the cash register with them down below the cash register. Where else would you store your sanitary napkins and tampons other than in your purse? We had to wear white dresses. I was always worried about my monthly cycle and getting stains on my dress. Sometimes my cycle was heavier than other times. Keep in mind I was like 14, 15, 16 years old time frame, high school. Even when I was a young woman, I would get big globs of blood that could never use a tampon, so I needed a pad. The only place I had them stored was in my locker. We were also required to wear pantyhose and white dresses, shoes, and a hairnet. Sometimes I would store my tampons. That was for lighter days. I would use a tampon pad for heavier days. Sometimes I would store my tampons in my pantyhose in my upper thigh because I did not want to take my purse to the lunch counter. My menstrual cycle was not a topic of conversation that ever came up with the older women, nor did they mention their menstrual cycles with me. During the week, there was a little heavier traffic of people who came into the restaurant after 3:30 p.m. We would call it an after-school run of people who were shopping a little bit and would eat at the lunch counter. The town I was in had about 25,000 people. The mall never had that much activity except for holidays, weekends, and if one of the stores had an advertised sale going on.